Hello and welcome back to the workshop. We're back onto the Citroen. We got our last door panel right here. The starting and start disassembling and prepping of the wings. We got both the front and left, the right and left. And after that, we just have the hood, the roof, and the front valance on the car lift. We're almost done there. Once this door is finished, we're past the midway point on the bodywork on the Citroen. For the roof, we'll just be doing a buff and clear. I want to keep the same color. If it doesn't go well, then we will just touch up with a nice red paint and see how it looks. If not, we'll just go with a blue or black, which would match well with the blue on the body. The wings will go by pretty quickly since they fit perfectly on the sawhorse, so I can get both done at the same time compared to the doors where I'm kind of forced to flip-flop them. And the hood will also be done pretty quickly. If everything goes well, maybe by this month, March, we should have the car up and ready and driving and making our way to Paris, Texas. All right, so this is the door we've been working on. As you can see, they had welded a piece of metal here at one point. The only thing they didn't do was they had started it right here, adding some filler to straighten it out, and then it's kind of stopped. When it was painted and back in its black paint, you could have seen the line of the repair. They always had stopped here abruptly, but this whole thing, you could see the line where they added it. Fairly simple on this door. We're just gonna add filler, make sure everything's nice and straight, then paint it, well, prime it. Not much left to be done on it, it's just this part. For the wings, we're going to be starting our bag and tag. Take things off that are easy to take off, like these things. This one we have this area here, a bunch of bubbles. We'll try to take this to bare metal and see how bad it is. I don't think it'll be too bad though. Alright, so we got our dust mask on and we're about to go ahead and start sanding our wing. We're going to try to play a little bit of catch up. We want to get the wings to the same stage as the passenger door, just to see what we have on this one. That way when we get to the point where we need to add filler, we can do it both at the same time. So the main concern on this wing is going to be this area right here. I want to sand that down, probably to bare metal, and see what kind of damage we're looking at. I'll be using my DA for this, and we're just going to go real quick and hit the target areas that we know of, and then we'll assess it from there. So I'm going to look for the grittiest grit I have. Maybe I think it's an 80 or at least a 120, and go through the whole body panel right there. All right, so we'll just start. Let's get to sanding. Preliminary sanding, not too bad at all. Yes, this area right here, as you can see, it's not so bad. The biggest issue is right here. So what I want to do on this part now is, I have one of those surface conditioning tools that I got from Harbor Freight. I'm going to use it just on this area. I want to go to bare metal on this part. It looks like they added some filler here. So we'll probably end up doing the same thing. Add filler, make sure it's all nice and straight and even. We'll start with a fiberglass fill and then go over it with a regular filler. Everything else besides that came out good. These things like here, can't really feel it. The high build primer will take care of that. Same with this. Well, actually, this one needs a little bit more sanding. No, actually, overall, the wing is in good shape. Any imperfections, I don't see there being too many issues. I hear it needs some more sanding, but that's because I broke through the paint was all uneven. That's with 80 grit. If I go over it with a finer grit, that should fix a lot of this too. So I probably will go with 150 next, and that should be fine. and be good enough for our high build primer, which should take care of the rest here. Then we'll go it, and after that we'll do our guide coat and see from there. But overall, the panel is very good. This wasn't so bad. But alright, so let me get my tool and I'll show you how I use it. Okay, so this right here is the Harbor Freight Surface Conditioning Tool. It's a bit of a copy of the Eastwood conditioning tool, which I think is also a copy of a older tool. I don't really recommend them because they're not really as good as you probably think they are. They're great for this, what I'll be using like in a small section right here. But if you were going to buy this to take the paint off this entire panel, I really wouldn't recommend this. There are faster ways and better ways than using one of this. I bought this when they first came out, kind of fell for the hype. You can get these fairly cheap. I think a lot of them are now in the used market. The drums are a little pricey. They sell them to you as like one drum, and they cost anywhere between $25 to $40. And the better the grit, the higher the price seems. This one is a 120 grit. No, excuse me, this is an 80 grit. So I've been using this drum just on this area. It does do a good job on getting through all this pretty quickly. If you have it as a small area you want to do, it's okay. But yeah, so they're not really recommended for overall stripping of a panel. Okay, so the tool is all set up. We're going to go quick. We're going to hit it with speed 5. The tool does a good job. It really cleans the metal, preps it up, makes it look really nice. And you can see, of course, where we have our nice metal here. And now you see too where what was causing those bubbles. It seems like all this right here is old filler, and this is all. There was a hole right there. That's also why I stopped and backed it off, because I realized if I kept on going, we were going to take all of this off. The rest down here is fine. That's not a big deal. But yeah, so that's right here. There's a couple options now. Either the filler was working. You can't tell from the other side. I think what I'll do, again, since this is just a isolated part, we're just going to put in fiberglass and straighten it all out. So there we go. We got our first area we're going to have to do with fiberglass. So I'll do that first before we go to the next panel, since I like to do fiberglass first, sand it, then add our regular filler. Disappointing, but it's not too bad either. All right, so I'll go ahead and mix up some fiberglass. All right, I'm gonna take that dust mask off. It's getting hard to breathe in there, and that's definitely a sign that your filters are due for change. So for fiberglass filler, I like to use this one right now. It's called Evercoat Body Shop filler. They sell it at AutoZone and O'Reilly. I think I paid $23 or $21, something like that for it. Besides this one, I like to use Dynaglass, which is another very good filler, but I have to order that online. And I used to use Evercoat's Tiger Stripes, I think that's what's called. But the shop that I used to buy from no longer carries Evercoat products. So I have used this one before, and it works well. Nothing negative to say. It's close by, that if I need some, I can just go to the store within 2 minutes, come back with another can. So we'll just mix a little bit since we're just doing that area. we just wanted to use it to reinforce the whole areas, the metal pieces there, reinforce it. Okay, so we mixed up some fiberglass here, and we're just going to add it in right now. Okay. I didn't mix too much. We don't need that much either. In fact, this might be a little bit overkill. So we'll just go ahead and dab it where we need it the most, which is here, and then we'll work our way around it. So right there needed the most, and then right here on this corner, the bottom parts. So here's a better close-up look. As you see, what I was saying is I just wanted the filler to fill in the areas and the holes that needed to be filled in. Okay. I just wanted to fill in the holes. That's all I wanted the filler to do. And so we had right here, and it went in, and it right here was a lot. So you see the little green specks, they're actually inside. When we start to sand this, just to clean up the area, what's going to happen is all this other stuff is going to come off, but this will stay there. Now this one does need a little bit more, and I should have left it there, but I didn't, so that's okay. We'll usually never do just one fill job. You have to, nisel and then you add to it. So that's what we're going to be adding to make this part here nice and straight. Okay. It still needs a little bit more time. It's kind of tacky, so we'll give it another 2 minutes, and then we should be good to go for sanding. We'll block sand it just to clean it up. Well, we may do DA sand. It's not too necessary. DA sand everything up top, and then just block sand here on the bottom to be careful on our filled areas. I ended up just using my DA with a 120 grit, and it did exactly what I wanted. Cleaned up the whole area. Didn't touch the filler that I put on. It just slightly skimmed the top. So now we're going to go back over it with regular body filler. This time we will mix a lot more because we're going to do both. We're going to do the door panel and the wing. So the wing will take some, and then we're also going to add some to the door panel. The main thing on this one is we do want to just try to block sand it because we do not want to cut too much off. So, alright, so let me start mixing it up, and I'm going to put it on. Oh, also, if you see me using a brush on the door, that's because my quick connect does not fit my air blower. So I have a collection of old brushes from brooms, and I use that to brush off the filler dust. Okay, so I'll go ahead and mix some filler, and I'll see you here soon. So I went ahead and added the filler, and I can't recommend you copying me. As you can see, my filler work is not the greatest there. All I can recommend is always just try to mix a little more than you need, just because you'll find out you mix a lot, and then as you start putting it on, it kind of goes where you need to pretty quickly, and next thing you always kind of short a little. The way I like to think of it is it's like nacho cheese. The worst feeling in the world is when you don't get enough cheese and you have a bunch of chips with nothing on them. Same kind of concept. So over here, I went and added some. The main thing here is don't look at the top part or anything like that. It's just right here on the bottom, there's a line. I just wanted to have just enough to fill it in to make it nice and straight. The rest on top is actually going to go away. We'll channel that off. Like I said, it's not the prettiest. The stuff on top, I can use a DA. For everything on the bottom part right here, it's too risky to use a DA. You can go through too quickly, and then you have to do it again. So on that part right here, I'll be doing this hand blocking. But after that's done, this door is ready for primer after good cleaning. And I need to tape it up. But after that, it is ready for primer, for its first primer at least. We'll put in a high build primer on it, and that's it. We'll see how these dents hold up. They don't feel too significant, and I really feel that the high build primer will take care of it. So that's on that door. On this one, it became a big mess. I put a bunch, then I tried to take it off, started hardening up. So I kind of gave up on that and I just focused on filling in the areas we need. So right there, you can see there, it filled it in pretty good. And just right now, me touching it, that was a bad move. And then right here on this part, all the holes are filled in. So on this one, everything here is going to get cleaned up again. Only area that's going to stay is this part right here and this part right there. We may need a little bit more filler for this one. Right now when I was touching, I could tell that it was 90% of the way filled. I think just that last bit of filler will make it nice and straight, and this whole area will be good. Alright, so we just finished our sanding and we'll take a look at our wing first. Everything here looks good. The filler filled it exactly where we want it to. It's nice and smooth. It goes through very straight. I got rid of all the excess that I put up here, and this is good. There's a little dip in here, like a dent. Well, there's a hole there, but overall it's good. It's not big enough that I would say I need to add more filler, and it's just as much that I can say the high build primer will actually take care of that. We should be all right with that. 2 coats of primer and we'll be good. So we'll just leave that one. And actually it looks nice. When everything's said and done, this will look really nice. Now on the door, same thing. I started with a 220. I wasn't getting anywhere with it. I had to switch back and I went down to 120 to break through. I went to town on all the filler right there. Then I went back to 220. And then I started hand blocking with 220 as well. I didn't do too much with the hand block. It really wasn't going anywhere with it. So I did 220 with the DA, and I was just, I don't know if you can see in the video, but I was just going to town on this area with it. I was trying to be careful. Like I said, the top part here doesn't really matter since it's nice and straight already. Wherever cuts off is fine. It's only this part on the bottom that I was concerned about. Now for this part on the bottom, we're about, as of right now, 80%. This right here is good. Right here is good. Good. This all this area right here is fine. Over here, right here, it needs some more filler. Right there. And over here on this side. And over here. It's not too much though. I will say 2 coats, maybe even 3 coats of high build primer will actually will cover it over instead of adding filler. So I won't think we'll leave that here for the day like that. Tomorrow I'll take out the other wing and we'll start taking that one apart and seeing what that one has for us, if there's any surprises there. Once the other wing is set, we will go ahead and do our tape work on this door, clean up. We gotta do quite a bit of cleanup. All this filler dust needs to go. We gotta change this cloth. Doors need to be wax and grease removed. This door also needs a little bit of sanding up here because we have some surface rust that started. So we want to make sure this door is nice and clean. And then for this one right here, the wing, we just want to make sure that everything is scuffed up I did not scuff up yet the pods right here, so I will have to do this. And also, I'm going to clean up the inside right there and scuff those up. That way everything here will be good to go. Though this one's not too much of a concern, the inside yet. That can just be sealed with put sealer on it. For the high build primer, the main concern of course is this right here. And of course the wing panels. There's a small defects here and there. Like there's a small dent there. Not major enough to try to fix. Small things, little imperfections like right there. But they're so tiny that the high build primer should take care of it. Like right here, small little dent. But it's small enough that the primer will do it. Alright, so we'll stop here for today, and I'll see you tomorrow, where we can continue on.